We comfort ourselves with the narrative of humanity's ascent, a steady climb from savagery to progress. But the earth itself whispers a different story, a story etched in metal and stone. Across the globe, miners and archaeologists unearth artifacts that defy conventional wisdom, artifacts that hint at technologies far beyond our accepted timeline. Complex computing devices, sophisticated nuclear reactors, even designs for heavier-than aircraft, all appearing millions of years before their supposed invention. These discoveries point to a chilling possibility. We are not innovators, but scavengers. We are merely rediscovering the remnants of lost civilizations, piecing together the fragments of technologies that once dwarfed our own. And perhaps these very technologies were the undoing of those who came before, leaving behind only rusted relics as a silent warning. This unsettling saga begins in 1901. Off the coast of the small Greek island of Antikythera, sponge divers found themselves caught in a violent, unexpected storm. Seeking refuge, they stumbled upon a grim discovery 60 meters below the surface: the wreckage of an ancient Roman cargo ship. Amidst shattered marble statues and scattered gold coins lay an unassuming lump of corroded bronze, an object that would forever alter our understanding of the ancient world. When scientists at the Athens Museum painstakingly cleaned away centuries of accumulated concretion, they were met with a revelation. Encased within the calcified exterior was an intricate mechanism, a complex assembly of miniature gears. This device, now known as the Antikythera mechanism, is over 2,000 years old. Yet its internal complexity is staggering. It is, in essence, a mechanical analog computer. Composed of 37 handcrafted bronze gears, the device drove a series of pointers across dials on its front and back panels. This machine could calculate the movements of the Sun, the Moon, and the 5 planets known at the time with astonishing precision. It accounted for the elliptical orbits of celestial bodies, the phases of the Moon, and even leap years. But the true horror lies not in the advanced astronomical knowledge of the ancient Greeks. The horror resides in the very technology required to create such a device. Similar microscopic gears, incorporating a differential, were not officially developed in Europe until the 15th century. That's a technological gap of nearly 2,000 years. The creation of such intricate gears demands advanced mathematics. The cutting of the metal requires lasers or precision lathes capable of microscopic tolerances. Hand filing alone could never achieve such perfect alignment. Who provided the Greeks with the blueprints for this device? And why did they require such extraordinary accuracy for what appears to be a simple calendar? Recent scans, using state-of-the-art X-ray tomography, have revealed hidden inscriptions on the device's rear panel. These inscriptions resemble a detailed user manual. Some researchers believe it is more than just an astronomical guide. They see it as a countdown timer, a device tracking cycles of global cataclysm. The theory suggests that the mechanism predicted moments of planetary alignment and gravitational disturbances capable of fracturing the Earth's crust and triggering catastrophic floods. Perhaps the ship carrying this device didn't simply sink in a storm. Perhaps it was deliberately sunk. Someone may have wanted to bury this dangerous knowledge at the bottom of the sea. Imagine this. If this computer is still functioning, how much time remains on its invisible dial before the next apocalypse? We hold in our hands the black box of a lost civilization, yet we cannot decipher the language of its final warning. We journey to Egypt, to the ancient necropolis of Saqqara. In 1936, the renowned Egyptologist Walter Emery unearthed the tomb of Prince Sabu, son of Pharaoh Ajib. The burial site was 5,000 years old. Amidst the familiar clay pots, stone knives, and ornaments, he discovered an object that silenced scholars for decades. A peculiar disc crafted from metasilt, measuring 61 centimeters in diameter. Metasilt, a fragile and layered stone composed of quartz and mica, is notoriously difficult to work without shattering. Yet this disc takes the form of a perfect steering wheel, or perhaps a modern propeller, complete with 3 blades curving inward. At its center, a hub suggests an axle. The blades themselves are so thin they become translucent when held to the sun. Could such a feat be achieved with primitive stone chisels or copper tools? The task seems impossible. A single miscalculation would reduce the material to dust. It suggests the application of high-speed machining on a lathe. Official science, baffled, cautiously labels it a vase for incense or a ritual lamp. But engineers scoff at this implausible explanation. The disc's form is aerodynamically flawless. When spun on its axis, the blades would powerfully force air towards the center. It resembles a component of a modern turbine, a hydraulic pump, or a flywheel. But what need would ancient Egypt, a civilization that hadn't even invented the wheel, have for a stone impeller of such intricate design? A mystical theory emerges, intertwined with legends surrounding the construction of the Great Pyramids. Ancient texts whisper of priests possessing a forbidden technology, sonic levitation. They purportedly harnessed sound and vibration to lift multi-ton blocks into the air. Could the Sabu disk have been a component of an acoustic generator? Imagine, if you will, that when rotated at a specific frequency, this propeller generated a resonance, altering the properties of the surrounding matter and nullifying gravity. Perhaps this is why it was concealed within the prince's tomb. This was no mere flower vase. It was a component of an engine that allowed heavy stones to float like feathers. Are we looking at a part of a Vimana or an ancient drone while attempting to pour aromatic oil into it? In the desolate province of Qinghai, China, a mountain stands shrouded in mystery. Locals give Mount Baigong a wide berth, whispering of alien ruins and a place cursed by forces unknown. The mountain itself is an anomaly, shaped like a near-perfect pyramid rising approximately 60 meters from the arid landscape. But the true enigma lies hidden within. Deep inside the mountain and scattered around its base, researchers have unearthed hundreds of rusted iron pipes. These conduits pierce the rock, plunging into the mountain's depths and disappearing into the saline waters of nearby Lake Tosan. Their diameters vary wildly, from the width of a needle to a substantial half a meter. The most unsettling discovery came after a chemical analysis conducted in a Beijing geology laboratory. The pipes were determined to be 150,000 years old. Imagine this. 150,000 years ago, humanity had yet to master fire, dwelling in caves, while someone, or something, was constructing a complex engineering system in this very spot. The metal of the pipes is composed of approximately 30% ferric oxide, alongside significant quantities of silicon dioxide and calcium oxide. But 8% of the pipe's chemical composition remains stubbornly unidentifiable, a material unlike anything found naturally on Earth. Furthermore, many of the pipes still exhibit measurable levels of radioactivity. Skeptics have attempted to explain the phenomenon as fossilized tree roots, but roots are never perfectly hollow, nor are they composed of nearly pure iron. The structure of Mount Baigong evokes the image of a colossal ancient tower, or perhaps a technological complex of immense scale. The pipes descend into the lake as if part of a gigantic liquid cooling system, designed to regulate a powerful reactor concealed within the mountain's core. Adding to the mystery, researchers have noted the conspicuous absence of any human-generated debris around the site. So, who constructed this installation 150,000 years ago, and what was its purpose? What were they manufacturing? Could Mount Baigong still be functioning, lying dormant, waiting to be awakened? Locals report strange lights flickering above the lake at night. Is it possible that the ancient cooling system is still drawing water, regulating something that slumbers deep within the rock? We may be walking on the roof of a gigantic alien factory, unaware that the workshops beneath our feet could reactivate at any moment. In the celebrated Gold Museum of Bogota and scattered amongst historical collections worldwide lie golden artifacts of the Quimbaya and Tolima cultures. These relics, dating back over 1,000 years, are classified by archaeologists as zoomorphic figures, stylized representations of birds, insects, or even flying fish. But what if these interpretations are fundamentally flawed? To the trained eye of a pilot or aeronautical engineer, these golden objects tell a very different story. Natural birds lack the distinctive vertical tail fin seen on these figures. Insects possess wings attached to the top, not the bottom of their bodies. Could it be that these are not representations of known creatures, but scale models of something else entirely? Consider this. These figures bear a striking resemblance to modern jet fighters or even space shuttles. They possess streamlined fuselages, delta-shaped wings, cockpits, and tail assemblies complete with elevators. In 1996, German model aircraft enthusiasts Peter Belting and Konrad Lubers decided to put this theory to the test. They constructed precise, scaled-up replicas of the golden figures, equipping them with engines and radio control systems. The results were astonishing. The golden birds flew flawlessly. They exhibited exceptional gliding capabilities and executed complex aerobatic maneuvers, even with the engines off. Their aerodynamics were undeniably advanced, seemingly designed for supersonic flight. Is it plausible that ancient cultures, observing only the natural world, could have conceived such sophisticated designs? Nature simply doesn't offer such examples. Did the Quimbaya and Tolima people witness these machines firsthand, soaring through the skies? This discovery casts a new light on the enigmatic Nazca lines in neighboring Peru. These colossal geoglyphs, etched into the desert landscape, feature perfectly straight lines stretching for kilometers, bisecting mountaintops. Could they be the remnants of an ancient spaceport, runways for otherworldly vehicles? Perhaps the ancient gods, descending from the heavens in fire and thunder, were not mythical beings at all. Perhaps they were pilots. And the golden figures? A classic example of cargo cult worship. The indigenous people immortalized in gold the objects of their reverence, the machines themselves. If these machines were present 1,000 years ago, where did they go? Are they still out there, observing us from high orbit, awaiting the moment of their return? In 1936, near the small town of London, Texas, the Hahn family stumbled upon a bizarre anomaly, a stone unlike any they had ever seen. Embedded within a chunk of limestone, a wooden handle protruded, hinting at something extraordinary hidden within. When the stone was broken open, an iron hammer was revealed. At first glance, it appeared to be an ordinary 19th century tool. But geologists, upon closer inspection, conducted a meticulous analysis, determining the age of the limestone encasing the metal. Their findings were staggering, at least 100 million years old. This places the artifact squarely in the middle of the Cretaceous period, a time when giant dinosaurs roamed the earth and mammals were small, rodent-like creatures scurrying for survival. Humanity was not even a distant glimmer in the eye of evolution, yet somehow this hammer existed. But the mystery deepened with the analysis of the metal's chemical composition. The hammerhead consists of 97% pure iron, 2.5% chlorine, and 0.5% sulfur. Iron of such purity is virtually unheard of in nature, and the technology to infuse iron with chlorine is unknown to modern metallurgy. Furthermore, the metal is completely devoid of carbon, a characteristic that should make it incredibly brittle. Instead, it possesses both remarkable strength and flexibility. For nearly 100 years, since its extraction from the rock, the hammer has been exposed to the elements, yet it shows no signs of rust or corrosion. Not a single blemish mars its surface. It's a stainless steel of an unknown origin, surpassing even our most advanced alloys. Official science struggles to explain this artifact, often dismissing it as a hoax, conveniently ignoring the compelling evidence. The stone and metal are fused at a molecular level, a fact that irrefutably confirms its immense age. Imagine a scenario. 100 million years ago, this hammer fell into soft clay. Does this mean that someone, something, walked this planet alongside Tyrannosaurus rex? Was it a time traveler who made a fatal mistake, leaving behind a crucial clue? Or is it possible that our civilization is not the first to rise and fall on this earth? Could it be that millions of years ago, vast cities and towering factories dotted the landscape, and we are now living amongst their ruins, oblivious to their existence? The hammer stands as a silent witness to a forgotten era, guarding secrets that are more terrifying than any words. The sixth, and perhaps most unsettling artifact on our list, cannot be locked away in a museum vault or dismissed as a forgery. It is the Oklo uranium mine, located in the African nation of Gabon. In 1972, French physicists, while analyzing uranium ore destined for their nuclear power plants, stumbled upon an anomaly. The ore was critically deficient in the uranium-235 isotope. Typically, its concentration remains consistent across the globe. It appeared as though someone, or something, had already utilized this fuel, burning it to near depletion. Further investigation revealed something truly extraordinary. 2 billion years ago, this very location was home to a fully operational nuclear power plant. Scientists identified 16 reactors scattered throughout the uranium deposit. These reactors functioned with remarkable stability for a period of 500,000 years. Official science, seemingly in a state of panic, coined the term Quote One, proposing that uranium had accumulated in a concentrated area and groundwater had, by chance, initiated a chain reaction, acting as a moderator. But nuclear physicists remain unconvinced. Achieving a controlled nuclear reaction demands impeccably precise conditions, graphite moderators, and a complex active zone geometry. Nature, they argue, does not construct nuclear power plants by accident. Even more perplexing is the manner in which the waste was managed. Radioactive elements did not leach into the surrounding environment, poisoning the planet. Instead, they were contained within specialized rock formations, utilizing a vitrification technique, a technology we ourselves only recently mastered. Furthermore, traces of xenon and neodymium were discovered in the ore, further substantiating the occurrence of nuclear fission. Who constructed this nuclear reactor 2 billion years ago? At that time, the Earth was supposedly populated only by the simplest bacteria, or so we believe. The reactor's power output was immense, estimated to be hundreds of kilowatts. What could have required such energy on a seemingly desolate planet? This site serves as a stark reminder that our understanding of our planet's history may be fundamentally incomplete. Is it possible that we are merely the latest in a series of attempts by the planet to cultivate intelligence? and that those who came before us achieved heights we can scarcely imagine. Yet they vanished without a trace, leaving behind only the depleted uranium in an African mine, a chilling testament to the fact that even gods are mortal. Even after examining 6 major discoveries that challenge mainstream science, one enigma remains, a compelling piece of evidence suggesting our ancestors possessed knowledge far exceeding our current understanding. In 1936, the Austrian archaeologist Wilhelm Koenig unearthed a peculiar clay vessel in the cellars of the National Museum of Iraq. The discovery occurred near Baghdad, within the ruins of a Parthian-era settlement. Sealed with bitumen, the vessel guarded a secret. Upon opening it, scientists found a copper cylinder, and within that cylinder, an iron rod. The entire assembly was meticulously constructed to prevent contact between the two metals. To any physics teacher, the device would have appeared strikingly familiar. A rudimentary galvanic cell. A battery. Introduce an acid or electrolyte, perhaps grape vinegar or lemon juice, and the device would generate an electric current, approximately 1.5 volts. The age of this artifact? Over 2,000 years. This would mean that electricity was discovered 18 centuries before Alessandro Volta and Luigi Galvani. Official science maintains these vessels were for storing scrolls, yet no trace of papyrus was found inside. Instead, telltale signs of corrosion, consistent with an acidic environment, were present. Subsequently, archaeologists unearthed similar vessels. Connected in series, they could produce a voltage sufficient for significant tasks. But what purpose did electricity serve for the ancient inhabitants of Mesopotamia? One theory suggests priests used these batteries for electroplating statues and jewelry with gold. However, a more unsettling possibility lingers. Consider the walls of the Dendera temple complex in Egypt. There we find depictions of enormous lamps, each containing a serpentine form. Some ufologists interpret these as representations of electric light bulbs. Could the Baghdad batteries have been a power source for illumination within the pyramids and tombs, explaining the absence of torch soot? We are accustomed to envisioning the ancient world as a time of darkness. But what if they illuminated their cities with electricity, a secret lost to the ages? And who taught them to assemble energy generators from clay and bitumen? And now, as a final enigma, we turn to an artifact that defies even the most advanced ancient technology. It is so anomalous, it almost demands its own classification. In South Africa, within the mines near Klerksdorp, workers have, for decades, unearthed strange metallic spheres. These objects emerge from a layer of rock known as pyrophyllite. Their diameter ranges from 1 to 10 centimeters. Some are etched with 3 perfectly parallel grooves encircling their equators. Initially dismissed as mere concretions, natural formations, geologists soon intervened. The age of the rock stratum yielding these spheres? A staggering 3 billion years. Consider this. 3 billion years ago, dinosaurs were non-existent. Life on Earth consisted solely of primitive algae and bacteria. Yet something, or someone, crafted these spheres with almost mechanical precision. The metal itself is an alloy of nickel and steel, a composition not naturally occurring in this form. The outer shell of certain spheres possesses such extreme hardness that it resists scratching even with a steel point. But the most baffling characteristic was discovered by museum staff in Klerksdorp. Spheres displayed under glass began to rotate spontaneously on their axes, completing a full revolution every 128 days. They seemed to possess a life of their own. Intrigued, scientists at NASA examined the find and determined that the spheres are perfectly balanced. Achieving such equilibrium would necessitate a zero-gravity environment. Creating such a flawless sphere on Earth is virtually impossible. Could these spheres be seeds of life, sown across a young planet 3 billion years ago by a superior civilization to initiate or manipulate the evolutionary process? Or are they data storage devices, eternal hard drives that have survived continental shifts and the birth of oceans? We hold them in our hands, yet lack the drive to decipher their encoded message. They reside in museums, slowly rotating, counting down the eons until their creators return to reap what they have sown. We've examined 6 primary artifacts and 2 secondary ones, but there are thousands more, each one a nail in the coffin of official history. The Antikythera mechanism, the Saqqara disk, the Bygong pipes, the golden airplanes, the London hammer, and the Oklo reactor stand as our key witnesses. The Baghdad battery and the Klerksdorp spheres offer further chilling confirmation. We know next to nothing about the past. These are not random geological curiosities. This is technological debris left behind by our forgotten predecessors. We play with these things like children who have found a loaded gun in a sandbox. We don't understand their true purpose, but we sense the ancient threat emanating from them. These objects whisper a single terrifying truth: civilizations are mortal. They can vanish in an instant, leaving behind only rusted pipes and strange stones. Imagine this. Looking at these artifacts, a profound fear for our own future begins to take root. What will remain of us in 1,000,000 years? A plastic bottle and a radioactive concrete sarcophagus, or absolutely nothing? Time erases everything, and we are next in line for oblivion. This story is just the beginning. Uncover more mysteries, join us, and share your thoughts in the comments below. We're listening.